Hello student, I know that you had watched the previous videos of dispersion of light. So without wasting any time, we are going to start the new concept, which is partial reflection and total internal reflection. So before that, if you are new to our page, please like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, I am sharing the links of previous videos of this chapter or previous chapter in the description box. So without wasting any time, we are going to consider the next very important concept, partial and total internal reflection, which is very interesting concept similar to that of dispersion of light. So in the dispersion of light, we had considered the white light, which is separating means it is splitting into its constituent colors. So you know that how many colors are there? Total 7 colors are there in the dispersion of light, and the sequence is V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. So that sequence already we had considered. So you all are now familiar with the dispersion of light. So here we are going to consider the total internal reflection. Before that, we are going to consider the partial reflection. Okay, now if we consider light, any light wave you can consider, either white light or any other single color light, no problem. Here we have to use any type of light in case of total internal reflection. And if you want to perform the experiments regarding reflection of light at home, that also you can perform. I will explain you how to perform that experiment later at the last of this video. So stay tuned with us up to last. Now when light enters a rarer medium from a denser medium, so here see the condition now. Rarer medium from denser medium, that means at first light is traveling inside the denser medium, and then it is coming out of the denser medium, and now it is entering into the rarer medium. So here what is the path of the light? From denser to rarer medium. So that is the path of the light. Now when this thing is happening, when that light is traveling from denser to rarer medium, actually what is happening, now obviously that light is going to made up of large number of light rays. We are not able to see those light rays, but it is made up of millions of light rays. And out of these millions of light rays, single light wave, so some part of that light gets reflected, some part of light gets reflected, and it comes into the same medium from which they are traveling. That means it comes back into that same denser medium. Only some portion, not all the light rays are coming into that medium. Some portion is coming back into the denser medium as per laws of reflection. Whatever be the laws of reflections are there, which we had studied in the last year. So those laws are going to be applicable. Like, what is the law of reflection? You know that for plane surface, angle of incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. So all these laws are going to be verified. And according to those laws of reflection, some portion of that light is only reflected into the denser medium. That means it is not going into the rarer medium. So such a type of reflection is referred as a partial reflection. So it is going to be referred as a partial reflection. So partial means some part, not complete, some portion. Like here I am going to say that, for example only, not it is exactly like this. Suppose 80% of light is going to reflected in the denser medium, and 20% remaining will go into the rarer medium. That means it will show the refraction. So I'm just giving the example like this going to happen, or 50% will be reflected, 50% will be refracted. So according to conditions, that proportion is going to change. But the important thing is that you have to consider that some portion is going to be reflected instead of refracting, and that is going to be referred as a partial reflection. So this is the concept of partial reflection. Now depending on that partial reflection, we have to consider the next concept, which is total internal reflection. And what is going to happen with the rest of the light which is not going to reflected in the same denser medium? That will be refracted and goes into the rarer medium. It will goes into the rarer medium. So it will get refracted and goes into the rarer medium. Then as light is going from denser to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal, that is angle of incidence I is smaller than the angle of refraction R. So we had seen these laws also initially in the first lecture. So if you haven't watched that video, you can watch from the description. So in that we had considered that I told you that if light is traveling from rarer to denser medium, in that case angle of incidence is going to larger than the angle of refraction, and if that light is going from denser to rarer medium, then refracted ray is going to bend away from the normal when it is traveling from denser to rarer, and it will bend away from the normal, that is angle of incidence is going to smaller as compared to the angle of refraction. So exactly reverse things are there, rarer to denser or denser to rarer. You have to remember how that light wave is traveling, and according to that you can consider values of angle of incidence and values of angle of refraction. So if denser to rarer, I is less than R, and if rarer to denser, I is greater than R. So here I is less than R because it is traveling from denser to rarer medium. Okay. We will see it diagrammatically how it is going to happen now. Okay. Sorry, due to the curve. Now I had considered one boundary. Okay, it is a boundary. Boundary means which is separating the two mediums. Which two mediums? Now it is going to separating two mediums. One is rarer medium, one is denser medium. So easily you can say that here downside medium of that boundary is denser medium, and upside medium is going to be rarer medium. Now here the upside medium is air medium and downside medium is water or glass, any medium you can take. If you want to take glass, no problem. If you want to take water, no problem. Both are denser medium. Okay, so these are two mediums which we are going to use for this particular experiment. Now here I am going to consider one light source, because without that light source we are not going to get the light waves. From where we are going to get the light? From one particular light source. So this is a point source which is emitting the light waves, and it is sending the light wave outside. Now if you see the position of that light source, it is present in medium 2, that means it is present in water. So whatever be the light waves are going to emitted from that light source, now they are going to travel according to our condition from denser to rarer medium. From denser to rarer medium. Now suppose the first light ray which is traveling vertically upwards, and now it is entering exactly at 90 degree. It is incident exactly normally, that means at 90 degree on the boundary. Whatever be that white boundary is there, it is incident normally. So when light wave is incident normally on any boundary of the medium, then light will not show the refraction. That means it will goes straight away. It will goes as it is into the second medium. Whatever be the second medium, rarer or denser, it doesn't matter. So it will goes undeviated. Undeviated means its original path will not change. And here again we are considering the partial reflection. So some portion, you can see here I had shown one arrow downside, one arrow upside. That means originally light is going upside and some portion is going downside and remaining portion is going upside. That means it is moving into the rarer medium. So here I am getting the partial reflection, and directions are not changing, as it is directions are there, and in case of reflection exactly reverse direction we are getting. Okay, so this is the first condition for first ray of light. Now I will consider another ray of light. Now it is incident on the boundary at certain angle of incidence. Okay, now it is incident at certain angle of incidence. So to measure that angle of incidence, I have to consider normal at that point of incidence. So this black dotted line is our normal, and whatever be the angle between that green ray and that black ray, that is going to be angle of incidence. Okay, now here partial refraction is there or partial reflection is occurred. So some portion of that light wave is entering into the same medium, that means into the water, and it is giving the laws of reflection also. It is satisfying the laws of reflection also. So you can see the angle of incidence and angle of reflections are, they are looking similar. Okay, so some point wise here and there, because I am not able to draw the exact measurement, I had not taken the exact measurement, but randomly it should looks similar. So if you see properly, they are looking similar. Okay, so again here I am getting the partial reflection and also while showing the refraction here, in which case when light is traveling from denser to rarer medium, here the condition is given, this upside point, the incident ray or that refracted ray is bending away from the normal. That means which value is smaller here? Angle of incidence is smaller than angle of refraction. Okay, so here I and R, in diagram you can easily observe that R is greater than I, because it is traveling from denser to rarer medium. So this is in case of second ray. Now I will consider another ray of light which is incident on that boundary, again which is traveling from water to air, that means denser to rarer medium. Again I had drawn the normal to that point of incidence. Again it will shows the partial reflection. Okay, again it is going to show some partial reflection. Now again this red line showing the reflection of light, some portion is reflected, and again this blue line is showing some portion is refracted into another medium. Again you can easily say that I is less than R. Now here I am going to indicate this second angle of incidence at I dash. So you should spot the difference between these two angles. So that's why I am using the I dash for this second angle and R dash for the second angle of refraction. And again here condition is same, I dash is less than R dash. And if you see these two angles, angle R and angle R dash, so if you compare the measurement, then you can easily find out that R is less than R dash. That means the refracted ray is bending away from the normal. As angle of incidence goes on increasing, then angle of refraction is also goes on increasing. So here what is the conclusion? As I am increasing the angle of incidence, angle of refraction goes on increasing, and at one certain stage I am getting one particular condition. What is that condition now? At a particular angle of incidence, now the refracted ray is completely traveling along that boundary. Now it is traveling along that boundary. That means at that particular angle of incidence, the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. What is the value of angle of incidence now? It is exactly 90 degree. So what value I am getting now? R is equals to 90 degree. But when at a particular angle of incidence, and that particular angle of incidence I am going to refer it as a critical angle. So critical means last stage. So at that point you can see that air medium is finished. Finished means its boundary is reached. Beyond that boundary, water medium is starting. So that refracted ray is on boundary exactly. So that condition is critical. So if we shifted little bit downside, then it will enters into the second medium. So because it is on boundary, so that is critical condition for that particular angle of incidence. So therefore that angle of incidence I am referring it as a critical angle. So which angle will be considered as a critical angle now? You got now concept, this new concept now. The angle of incidence, for particular value of angle of incidence at which refracted angle becomes 90 degree, such angle is referred as critical angle, and this critical angle is only obtained, only and only it will obtained when light is traveling from denser to rarer medium. Then only I am going to get the critical angle. If you are considering that ray of light is traveling from air to water, so we are not going to get the critical angle because refracted ray is bending towards the normal. It is not bending away. So what is the first condition for the critical angle? First and important condition, light should travel from the denser to rarer medium. Then only I am going to get the critical angle. Sorry. Now if I will increase further that angle of incidence, now I am going to beyond the critical angle. So where I am going now? I am going beyond the critical angle. That means I had increased the critical angle in such a way that it is going to greater than the critical angle. So here I is greater than IC. This condition I am getting beyond the critical angle. Now when I am increasing that angle of incidence further beyond the critical angle, now already the angle of refraction is 90 degree for the critical angle. So again that ray will bended away from the normal. It is not going to come towards the normal. So where it will move? It will move away from the normal, and already it is reached for that critical angle at the boundary. So now to bend away from the normal, now it will be shifted inside the denser medium beyond the critical angle. The rays will shifted inside the denser medium. That means now I am not getting the partial reflection. Here I am getting complete reflection inside the denser medium. So this concept is referred as a total internal reflection, and it is going to obtain only for I is greater than IC. So here I had shown the names. Now you can see below critical angle we are getting the partial reflection and some light is refracted, and at critical angle I am getting R is equals to 90 degree, and beyond critical angle I am getting total internal reflection. That means no light is going into the air medium. So here partial reflection is over and we are getting totally internal reflection. That means 100% light is entering into the denser medium only. So this is the condition for total internal reflection. So I hope you got the concept total internal reflection. So here I am giving the critical angle. For a particular value of I, the value of R becomes exactly 90 degree. So that value of I is called the critical angle. So this is the definition of critical angle. And for critical angle I told you the condition, light must be traveling from denser to rarer medium. Okay. Then for angles of incidence larger than the critical angle, the angle of refraction is larger than 90 degree, and such rays return to the denser medium, and thus all the light gets reflected back into the denser medium. This is called as total internal reflection. So this is the concept of total internal reflection. And remember the conditions for the total internal reflection. When we are going to get the total internal reflection, whenever light is going to travel from denser to rarer medium, then and angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. So these are the important two conditions. These are the must condition. If any one condition is not present, then you are not going to get the total internal reflection. So I will again go to the previous screen. So you can see before IC, that means before critical angle, you are getting both refracted ray as well as partial reflection, that means reflected ray. So here one condition is not satisfied. Which condition? I is not greater than IC. So that's why we are getting the partial reflection. But when we obtain both the conditions, that means from denser to rarer as well as I is greater than IC, then only I am getting the total internal reflection. So this is the concept of total internal reflection. So I hope you understood this particular concept, like the dispersion of light. And the last concept is rainbow, which is very spectacular phenomenon which you are observing in the nature. So this is nature's phenomenon, so it is natural, not artificial. And like total internal reflection, rainbow also has some particular conditions to form. So in the rainbow, you are going to observe the three concepts at a time. Three concept means you are going to observe the refraction of light, you are going to observe the total internal reflection, you are going to observe the dispersion of light also. Okay, now when sunlight which is traveling from air to water medium, that means after the rain is over, and it is generally observed, generally means 100% it is observed in rainy season only, and it is obtained, that rainbow is formed only after the rain is over. When rain is going on, at that time you are not able to see the rainbow. You can observe in the next rainy season, you can see that when rain is going on, heavy rain is going on, at that time you are not able to see the rainbow. When rain will be over, at that time only we are able to see that rainbow. Then second condition is that the sun should be behind us, that means observer, whoever is going to observe that rainbow, the sun should be present behind of that observer, then only we are able to see the rainbow. So that's why you can see that in the morning the rainbow is observed at west side, and in the evening the rainbow is formed at east side. Always this thing is going to happen, because in the morning sun is present on east side and our head is towards the west side, because sun is behind us, and at evening reverse condition is there. Okay, so these are some conditions for rainbow, like total internal reflection. So which are the condition? Skies should be clear, that means after rain rainbow will form. Then second will be the sun should be present behind the observer. Okay, so here suppose that light wave is coming from behind that observer, and when rain is over, some water droplets are caught into the clouds. That means not all the water droplets are fall on the earth. Some droplets are still caught into that clouds, and these light waves are incident on these water droplets which are present in those clouds, and large number of water droplets are present in those clouds. And when these light rays are incident on that water droplet, surface of that water droplet, immediately it will refracted into that water droplet. As water droplet is denser as compared to the air, so here the white light, that means that sunlight is splitted, that means it will shows the dispersion of light inside that water droplet, and again it will shows the total internal reflection inside of that water droplet, and again it is coming out of that water droplet, showing the dispersion of light, and due to which we are able to see all the seven colors in that rainbow. We are able to see all the seven colors in that rainbow. And again sunlight is a white light. So earlier in the previous lecture we had considered dispersion of light. So you had studied that white light having the seven colors in spectrum. So that's why in the rainbow also we are able to see only seven colors, which are V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. And there are two types of rainbows are there, primary and secondary. So the secondary rainbow is present just below the primary rainbow, or sometimes it is present just above the primary rainbow. And primary rainbow is very dark in color, and secondary rainbow is blurrish in color. So you are not able to see clearly that secondary rainbow. So in this way we are able to form, or we are able to observe the rainbow during the rainy season, which is due to the refraction of light, due to the total internal reflection of light, and due to the dispersion of light. So whatever be the phenomena we had considered in this chapter, all three phenomena are observed at a time while rainbow is forming, and that's why we are able to see the rainbow, which is the very spectacular phenomenon which we are observing in our nature. So this is the last concept of this chapter number 6, refraction of light. I hope you enjoyed all the videos, you had watched all the videos. If you haven't done that, the links are given in the description. And again, I'm going to say that thanks for watching all the videos. If you are new to our page, again I will request you to like, subscribe and share our page, and also press the bell icon so you will get updates in the future. So stay tuned with us for the next videos of next chapter, which is lenses from the science part 1 of class 10 syllabus. Okay, so again thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.